A Mortician's Tale. This is a visual novel sort of deal where we play Mortician. Topics of death will be discussed, and yeah, let's see how this goes. September 14th, 10:15 a.m. Hello and welcome to a new funeral director from Matthew Jeffrey to Charlie. I assume we're Charlie. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name is Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the bodies to you and helps with them with more heavy lifting. Ever heard that joke about the hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Looking forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy's a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck. Matthew J., funeral director. From Amy Rose to Charlie. Hello, Charlie. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best I explain where everything is. In your office preparation room, you'll find your cremation station, cremulation station, embalming station, and obviously, since you're reading this email, your desk and computer area. I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. Best, Amy Rose, founder and director, Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. 1 second. No. Save changes. Streamlabs wants to tell me about cookies. From Jen Love to Charlie. Good luck, you beautiful and smart baby you. I guess my subject line to you should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I can't wait to get your reply so I can tell your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now. I guess it's not something I really think that much about. I should look more into this, learn more about your world and industry, because as I said, you're now a very serious professional. Speaking of being professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe somebody paid me to move to London, and not London, Ontario, serial killer capital of Canada. Is that factually correct? I don't know. To work in a museum, like, take that, everyone who said I can get a job with an art history degree. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. Also, I signed you up for a funeral monthly newsletter. Consider it your graduation gift. I love you. I'm super proud of you, gift. Love you, love you, love you. Jen L., Museum Curator, London Pathology Museum. I feel like we're gonna need a little bit of water here, because it's gonna be mainly talking, I imagine. From Amy Rose, today's task. Ooh. From Amy Rose to Charlie. Hello, Charlie. I hope you... well, have you settled in okay so far? Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly, and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to his sense of humor. Your first body is Mrs. Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we've dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier, if that's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Mrs. Garcia, I do think it's important to take the time to clean the body. No one is going to see her body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to to do this out of the respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. Talk soon, Amy Rose, founder and director. Oh, dear Mia. Okay. Dear Mia, of course we'll happily oblige your request for no embalming and no for a closed casket. I'll ensure our funeral director receives your request. Take care, Amy Rose, founder and director. Yada yada yada. From Mia Garcia to Amy Rose. Dear Amy, we're happy with the Rose and daughters for my mother's funeral. We understand that there are usually procedures that must be followed in these situations, but if you could kindly not embalm my mother, that would be greatly appreciated. And we will proceed with a closed casket for the service. I just know we wouldn't have wanted her death to have any negative impact on the environment, and since she fought so hard to beat her heart disease and to live healthily, it would be a shame to have her final moment be counter to the way she lived. Thank you for anything you can do to help us in this matter. Best, Mia. From Funeral Monthly. Tips for good etiquette at a funeral. Thanks for subscribing. Each month we bring you a new newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. This month's all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. I really can't believe we have to write this one out, but since we said we'll answer your most popular questions, here we are, because this is definitely one of the most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time, and we understand that. But here are some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally following these guidelines of don't be a jerk should work. One second. Refreshing. Don't be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy, but this is a time and place to disengage. If you have to be on your cell phone, don't do so inside the funeral home. 2. Don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Being quiet gives other people space they might need. Number 3, don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own ways. Just remember to be respectful when with the grieving family and friends. Happily reminisce. Number 4, happily reminisce. Sometimes remembering happy moments and positive experiences with the deceased can be a productive part of the healing process. Number 5, give condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but even a simple "I'm thinking of you" can go a long way. Number 6, dress appropriately. What this looks like will change based on the customs of the deceased and the culture, but always dress in a way that shows respect for the deceased and their grieving family. You missed number 7, that's on you. Number 8, give a gift of sign their registration book. This can be flowers or a nice card, but it's the thought that counts here. Sometimes this can even be just cooking dinner for the grieving family. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through this healing process is what matters here. Be kind and helpful. Let's answer to Amy. Ooh, Ms. Garcia. This is the prep room where you will prepare bodies for burials and viewings. Because the family has requested closed casket ceremony with no embalming, we're just going to clean the body. Click on the sponge and drag over the body to clean. Okay. That's it. You're done. Mrs. Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of dressing and putting her into a casket. Okay. It's time to go to Mrs. Garcia's funeral. You are responsible for taking care of the deceased body, but it's also important to pay your respects for the loved one, to their loved ones. On the hour to head to the funeral parlor. Anything? No. Okay. Oh, we changed. We changed the clothing. I see. think... She would have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. That's... yeah, I guess. I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit for me now. Mommy, I'm hungry. When can we go? Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming weirds me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain. At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Stop it, don't make me laugh right now. We usually don't small talk for a lot of these things, at least that's what I was always taught. Okay, we paid our respects. October 11th, 10:09 a.m. Oop, got a message. From Jennifer Valentine. I am so frustrated right now. From Jennifer Valentine to Charlie. Okay, so let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing tight lacer's liver. One second. What's a tight lacer? One moment, actually. I can look this up. I have the time. I have the technology. Tight lacer liver. (1907) Pathology Museum. Who's tight lacer? Oh! I get it. So, you know corsets and whatnot. That's it. The tight lacer refers to somebody who would lace their soldier boy up in this hole. Corset, yeah. Oh, they describe it. Whatever, it's fine. Discussing the tight lacer's liver specimen we have here in the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907, and the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctors leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on the corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial point. Tight lacing was super popular, and while people associated with fainting or hysteria, it's actually been associated with visceroptosis, which is when the organs fall to the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling, but also can be caused by being pregnant, so... TLDR, corset probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage, and I'm tired of the condescension about my wardrobe that also implies I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. These are all kinds of things I specifically researched, and yet I'm treated like I know nothing about. I'm having a day, Charlie. Jen L., Museum Curator, London Pathology Museum. Oh. Oh, okay. Can I just rant for a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, your colleagues, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately. Dress code is such bullshit. Anyways, and like, I hate how the misogyny gets veiled in folk concern. Jen, I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right? Corsets don't do anything to livers. They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Sorry, I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a little bit when I've cooled off a bit. That's it. Let's go from the bottom up. What to wear when you're attending a funeral from a different culture? From funeral monthly to subscriber. We all know everybody wants a respectful funeral. Don't talk too loudly, be kind, smile, and refrain from making inappropriate jokes, at least around the grieving family. Sometimes some people do need a little bit of a pick-me-up during such hard times, so are we to judge? And a big part of that is knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean more to the formal, black attire rule, and it works for us. Did you know this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire, where people would wear black as a symbol for mourning? Black isn't universally the symbol of mourning, though. But black isn't universally the symbol of mourning, though. And if you're attending a funeral that is from a culture that is not your own, it is important to understand this. Some colors have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice could be an accidental offense. For example, in Hinduism and in Chinese cultures, white is typically the color for funerals. For Islam, though, it is less about the color you're wearing and more about how modestly you are dressed. Refrain from wearing any elaborate jewelry and be respectful of your behavior. For Sikh funeral, color of the clothing isn't as important as is dressing modestly and being able to appropriately sit cross-legged. Actually, being respectful is just the number one rule for any funeral, no matter what, really. Remember that, and please don't hesitate to ask what is and isn't appropriate to wear. If you are attending to support a friend, family member, or partner, this day is not about you, so be sure to do whatever you can to be as respectful and supportive as possible, even if that means not wearing what you're used to wearing at a funeral, or even if it just means asking how can you appropriately show your respects. From Matthew Jeffrey. Okay, a story about death. Oh, Matthew, let's hear your story. One sec. Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, talking to clients out the last trip around town. I was thinking, strange, I know. Did I ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager, about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed in a car accident, totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff. Messed me and my friends up real good. But so, the big day. We all go into the best suits and dressed and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us. Like clown cars, While we're in the procession, going to the cemetery, somebody in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out, some asshat driver who doesn't know not to get in the way of processions drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but can you imagine getting that call? Anyway, one of my friends is in the same car as me, the one who got the phone call, hung up and started laughing. Just laughing her ass off in that way that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or they're getting fully off the deep end. And she laughed, and then we all started giggling because, go figure, life is messed up sometimes, There's no moral, no point to the story, I guess. I just remembered that story and wanted to tell you, because we work with death all the time, and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. That decision came totally later, and it's nothing unremarkable. Somebody has to do it, and I have a strong stomach, so why not? I'll see you in a bit, Charlie. Matthew J., funeral director. Yada 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 yada. From Amy Rose. Okay, from Mia Garcia to Amy Rose. Hi Amy. Please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did with Amanda's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together. It was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food in, getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together. It meant a lot. So what I'm saying is it was nice for everyone to be there like that, together in that way. And I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for all of us. Best, Mia. Ooh. Just passing this message along. Thanks for the hard work, Charlie. Okay, next job. Hi, Charlie. Here are the instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job in the first one. The family was very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleasing a grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job was a man named Mr. Duval. An elderly man died of old age. Nothing fancy, just a standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter, Lizzie Duval, if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, don't hesitate to ask me any questions. Best. Postscript. Charlie, dear, please remember to wear proper embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much. Well, just a little. Ask Matthew. He knows. Oh God, it's so expensive. God, it's so expensive to bury a body. Like, officially. It's holy moly. I think I've been ever only to a single funeral. Really? Ooh. Fancy. Hello, sir. Traditional burials typically require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing as quickly. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. Clean the body. Probably shave the body as well. Yes. For rigor mortis, you have to massage the body. Huh. I didn't know that. Yeah, with the play once the body starts decomposing. Oh, unpleasant. Oh. Click and drag the cap into each eye socket to give it space. Eye caps. To the eyes shut, you'll need to glue them. Click and drag the glue onto each eye to shut it. The mouth sags and howls once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag a cotton ball into the mouth to give it shape. To keep the mouth from opening, you'll need to suture it shut. Click and drag the needle and thread over the jaw to close it. Click and drag the lotion over the body to moisturize it. This prevents the skin from drying out. Sorry, I saw something. Embalming involves removing blood and replacing it with preserving chemicals. Click and drag the scalpel over the neck to make an incision. Oh, okay. You're going to need a tube to drain the blood. Click on the tube and drag it into the neck incision. Click on the cannula and drag it onto the carotid artery. That's how you get the preserving chemicals into the bloodstream. Now you need to connect the embalming machine to the cannula. Grab some additional tubing and drag it to the cannula. There we go. Click the button on the embalming machine to turn it on. In order to evenly distribute the chemicals, you have to massage them through the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. Oops. Ran out of space there. Oh boy. Do morticians use like for the mouse searcher a hidden one of those hidden I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of the thing. Hidden. Hidden incisions, hidden sutures. Almost done. You need to drain the organs of any remaining liquid. Clean it with chalk tar. Then click and hold the abdomen until all the liquid has been drained. There we go. And you're done. Mike will take care of Mr. Duvall with his makeup as well as dressing and putting him in the casket. It's time to attend the funeral. Nothing else. Okay. Came out of nowhere. I mean, it always sort of does, doesn't it? Yeah, 1 minute you're laughing, having fun, and the next, oof, the person's gone. Just like, gone. Yeah, it's weird to think about for too long, just staring at the sun. I feel all fuzzy when I think about it. A little bit of water to keep it all running. So weird how our bodies just stop working like that. Yeah. So strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Yeah, I think it's different for different family members. I can't remember. I haven't done too many traditional funerals, so mostly white, but like definitely not red, no matter what. He always wanted to take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. The rimming curveball, that's for sure. Yeah, come on. Goodbye, Mr. Duvall. It was a pleasure having you here. December 2nd, 10:22 a.m. Yeah, I'm on my way. Okay. From the bottom to the top. LGBTQ funerals, respect. So, if you've been a long time subscriber to our emails or follow us on social media, you've no doubt heard about the misgendering that transgender people are at times subjected to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans people have had their wishes overruled by their families, have had their hair cut, are buried under the wrong names, and subjected to the wrong pronouns in their obituary announcement. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care. And this absolutely extends to pronouns and respecting the deceased's wishes as per their lived experiences. The CDC's Funeral Director Handbook on Death Registration and Fetal Death Reporting offers the fraud directive. Enter male or female based on observation. Do not abbreviate or use other symbols. Sex cannot be determined after verification with medical records, inspection of the body, or other sources. Enter unknown. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation obviously enters into a world of issues, since bodies can be so different, and because of ingrained bias, people can draw incorrect assumptions based on their own inaccurate observation. California has passed what is known as the Respect After Death Act, which states that the death certificate must reflect the deceased's gender identity as they lived it, so a step in the right direction. Excuse me. People who are trans deserve the same respect in death as people who are cisgender receive. Misgendering in death takes away this respect. It can also inflict hurt and trauma on spouses and friends that survive the deceased. So what can we do as funeral directors? Listen to the people who come into your office. In America especially, some marriages may not be recognized as legal depending on the laws around same-sex marriage. But this does not mean you're not dealing with two people who have loved each other in the same way as another couple. Listen, learn, and always be respectful. While you have to work with the next of kin, your duty is also to ensure the deceased receives the utmost respect in their burial. If your funeral is to honor the deceased, then do that. Honor them. Paycheck coming late. Sorry. Hey Matthew, this is embarrassing, but it seems I miscalculated some of our income and I don't have enough to pay you this week. Would it be terribly inconvenient if I cut you a check for the next week instead? If you need the money out urgently, please let me know. I feel terrible about this whole thing, and I can cut you a check from my personal account if need be. I'm so sorry about this. You didn't need the comma there. I assure this won't happen again. Take care. I don't like the look of this, not one bit. I know you've only been with us for a few months, but maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy has been having. A small mom and a pop shop like Rose and Daughters can't compete with bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell me I sent this to you. Also, I'm starving, so I'm going to grab some fast food before taking the hearse to the car wash. 2 birds, 1 stone. And swing back to the home. Do you want anything? A beef and cheddar. I'm going to take the hearse through the drive-thru, of course. Freaks people out. I love it. They get so awkward. Let me know. I'm heading out in 15 minutes. Meet cute for death positive cuties. Charlie, I was going to doing some reading. I know you hate when I try to give you dating advice, but hear me out. There's the dating side, specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you. You haven't mentioned anybody in the news since break of 2014 that we will never speak of again after this moment. But you're always saying how tired you get of people being scared to ask you about your day, so maybe meeting someone in the extreme isn't the worst idea. Just promise me you'll consider it, okay? It's harder for me to make sure that you're in order for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when I'm all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin and what you got the aesthetic and super hot right now, but vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom ran over. I'm going to try it out because it turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. Do you know how not interesting other people find teratomas? Charlie, I didn't know we were this weird to outside people. I've been spoiled by having a best friend who's as much of a weirdo as I am. Miss you. Let's grab a bottle of wine for our next Skype date. If you sign up, yes, if you sign up for Dead Meat, isn't that the best name for death industry dating website? Dinner rules apply. You have to like me. If you come across my profile or whatever, not sure how it works just yet though. From Lisa DeWall. Hi Amy. Thank you for the wonderful evening you and your staff put together for my father's funeral. He wasn't always an easy man to get along with, but I'm glad we have seen him off to you in such a kind way. Thank you, Lizzie. Passing on this lovely thank you note. Okay. From Amy Rose to Charlie. Hello, Charlie. Today's funeral is for a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, just a standard cremation. Please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. Best, Amy Rose. Ooh, goodbye, miss. Before we cremate Miss Hall, we need to prepare her body. Miss Hall family brought clothing and jewelry for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process as not to damage them. Let's about removing Mrs. Hall's necklace. Drag the necklace and place it in a purple tray. We need to be able to identify Mr. Hall's remains after she's been cremated. We can drag the round identification tag and place it in the coffin. Oh! Wait, Miss Hall is all set to be cremated now. Well then. This is the cremulator. In trying to properly believe cremation does not turn bodies into ash so much as bone fragments. Using the cremulator will break those bone fragments into ash-like remains. Let's start by collecting the urn of the cremulator. Oop. You can drag the bone fragments and drop them into the top of the cremulator. Oh jeez. Just tossing them in. Tossing them in from the back. Move your dead bones, move your dead bones. Now that all the bones have been processed, click and drag the urn back onto the counter. Make sure to put Miss Hall's necklace back into the urn. Click on the necklace and drag it into the urn. Don't forget to tag. Click on the round identification tag and drag it into the urn. Last step. Click on the urn lid and drag it on top. All done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. Water. One sec. Excuse-moi. No concern this. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be so sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. She fought really hard. She was proud of herself. She never gave up, not once. Glad she was cremated and not like in an open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know if I should have. At least we all got to say goodbye. She wouldn't like that. This is nice in a weird way. She'd like that we're all here, talking. She always tried to keep the family together. The food is delicious. I know that's weird, but these crab cakes are perfect. Goodbye. Thank you for visiting. February 14th, 10:14 a.m. Valentine's Day and a friend's birthday. From Funeral Monthly. Keep on protecting Earth with green burials. You lead your life mindful of the environment, doing your part to reduce pollution, and generally help out where you can. So why not continue doing that even in death? At least that's the thinking for a lot of people who are turning to green or natural burial. Natural cemeteries are becoming more popular and are focused on a few rules, mainly that the bodies aren't allowed to be embalmed with chemicals that can damage the environment, and bodies must be buried in a biodegradable shroud or casket. Not only is this better for the environment, it's also cheaper. At Union Cemetery in Ontario, Canada, a natural burial is just over $1,000. So better for the people, the environment, just maybe not so good for big business. Let's not forget, people, this is still a business after all. But really, why go green? Green burials help preserve natural resources, work to reduce carbon emissions, protect the health of those preparing the bodies, and restore/preserve natural habitats. Embalming fluids tend to contain formaldehyde, and funeral directors report a higher incidence of leukemia. Going green and not using toxic chemicals for embalming helps protect funeral directors, while at the same time lessening the impact we have on the environment after we're gone. We here at Funeral Monthly think green burials are pretty cool. What do you think? Reply and let us know. A challenger approaches from Jen Love. Charlie, I've been playing the new game where things are slow at a game when things are slow at work. It's called Tales from the Crypt Sweeper. Get it? Get it? It's like Minesweeper, but way harder. Like, seriously, it's really, really difficult. Okay? And I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after working that overnight front desk job at a hotel for 3 years, but I must have gotten rusty. Anyway, instead of mines, you want to avoid graves so you don't disturb the adorable ghost. The main character also kind of looks like you. Want to start a health competition? High scorer gets to pick the restaurant we go to when one of us is in town next. Jen L. Ryan Garcia. Ooh, aren't you? Hi, Amy. I know this email might be a bit odd, but you said if I was ever having troubles, I should reach out and you would know somebody I could talk to about all of this. I don't know what to do now. I know my grandmother had lived a full good life. I was very happy and she got not any pain now, but still, I feel empty, Amy. I've never felt this empty before. What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer me to someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mom right now. She's dealing with enough with work and the will and trying to just be the best mom she can. I just need somebody to tell me that it'll be okay. Thank you, and I'm sorry for being an inconvenience. Brian. I thought I would forward this to you. In situations like this, we typically connect people like Ryan with a grief counselor or other professionals who can really help. Sometimes we get emails like this when people don't know where else to turn. It's difficult, and family isn't always the most reliable for some people. Usually I would be happy to connect them, but I'm feeling a little tired today, not my usual self, and it would be good for you to start building these kinds of relationships on your own. You're a treasure, Charlie. From Margaret to Home. Hi, Amy. I am so eternally grateful that you were able to accommodate our request for my sister's funeral. It was a beautiful service, and she would have been happy with it. That's such a weird thing to say, isn't it? Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Charlie, I thought you'd like to see this thank you note. Uh-oh. Oh no. I'm scared. I'm gonna... Hi all. It is with a heavy heart that I write to let you know that Rose and Daughters will no longer be in business. I had no idea how to start this email, and resources like Google told me that would be the best and easiest way to break the ice. Be direct, but remorseful, Google said. But the truth is, I don't really know what to say. Since my father passed away, I've done my best to make Rose and Daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose to use our services. It was my memorial to him, the original Rose, in a lot of ways. And you've all become like family, including you, Charlie, our most recent addition. But it's been getting harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighborhood, and I'm fighting less and less like I have the energy for this business. There's a lot of competition from other funeral homes, larger corporations that can take on more business and offer more impressive services. You know the way it goes. So we've been bought, or I sold. By the way, soon Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated, a company that owns many funeral homes in the city and across the country, will replace Rose and Daughters starting from the beginning of next month. Same building, same name. They're keeping the name Rose and Daughters Funeral Home for tax purposes. Though honestly, I'm trying hard not to just see it as a move on their part to keep up the image that it's a family-run business. I don't know how to feel about that, but I also don't know if there's anything I can do at this point either. I signed the papers. At least my father's legacy is still intact somewhere. Cremation pacemaker. Hi Charlie, please see the note below about the pacemaker that can be tricky. Best. Hi Amy, you asked if there were any special instructions we wanted to pass along. Just please cremate my father. He has a pacemaker too. The doctor told me that he would need that would need to be removed. Thanks, Mariana. I'm on it. Okay, let's get the pacemaker out. Hello, sir. Mr. Reyes came directly from the hospital, so we don't have to worry about removing any valuables from him, as the family did not provide any of us to include. However, Mr. Reyes has a pacemaker that we need to remove before cremation. Because pacemakers are batteries, they will explode inside the hot heat of the cremation machine, and we definitely don't want that. Let's start by removing Mr. Reyes' pacemaker. Scalpel. Forceps. There we go. Oops. Okay. Back to the business. Oh god, my nose itches. Using the cremulator, we'll break those bone fragments down to ash-like remains. Yep. Bone, bone, bone. All done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. Oh, get my nose. Ah, so unpleasant. This guy seems distraught. I always told him to quit smoking, but of course he never listens to me, so that figures. I wonder if you ever liked me. He was so nice to me, but I don't know. He never seemed like he really cared if I was there or not. Excuse me, Mom? Did you ever end up clearing the air with your father? No, we talked a few times, but no, not really. He sounded like a difficult man. You're stubborn. That's just it. Stubborn. What do you want to do after this? It's pretty nice out. Let's change and go find a patio somewhere. Sounds good. I could really use a beer right now. Hey, did I ever tell you the time that we tailgated? Goodbye, Mr. Race. You're coming. To the next month. February 20th. Oh, near there. Next month. It's fine. Emergency. Funeral Monthly. Things that we're saying in the funeral. Welcome back. Now, we really go listicles here, but for this month's newsletter, we thought a listicle would be the best way to deliver this month's advice. What not to say at a funeral. We know figuring out the right thing to say to a grieving friend can be extremely difficult, and since that's such a personal issue, it's hard to give specific advice. Some things will be more comforting to other people. But fortunately, we can deliver a little bit of more solid advice on what not to say to someone who is grieving. So here it is. Funerals Monthly's top 5 things to not say at a funeral. Number 1. Please, they're no longer suffering. Even if this is true, nobody wants to hear this / it's probably not your place to dictate. Who wants to be told that the death of somebody they love is for the best? Like I said, even if it is true, don't be that jerk and just don't say it. Number 2, were they saved? No religious statements. Just don't. Why? Because not everyone agrees with your religious views, and not only is not always comforting, it can also be insulting. Number 3, they're with angels now. See above, then rinse, repeat. Number 4, let me know how I can help. This one is tricky. You want to help, but those in mourning won't always ask for help. If you want to help, suggest specific things. For example, I'm free if you need someone to babysit the kids. Actions are better than passive statements. Cook something for them. Take them to their favorite restaurant, or buy a ticket to see a movie together. I know how you feel. Even if you think you do, everyone grieves differently. Don't focus this on yourself. Empathy does not involve having to commiserate. Sometimes people will want to hear your experience, but don't assume they will. Ask first. For a quicker version of this list can be applied in any situation. Don't say stuff just for the sake of saying stuff. Just say, I'm sorry, if you don't know what else to say. Mushrooms. You hate mushrooms so much, I found the perfect thing for you. I've been thinking about death. I know, shocker, look what you've done to me. I think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that, but I can't remember the name of it. And I'm writing this on you on my phone, so I don't feel like Googling right now. Anyways, the idea is that it's a biodegradable suit that deceased wears. It's made with that people call a biomix, i.e. the mushrooms that and other microorganisms that help to decompose the bodies, neutralize toxins in the body, and provide nutrients for the soil or plants. I think this one company even offers gasket liners to use in green caskets. I think this is what I want. It'll be just like Hannibal. Wait, don't tell people that I said that, okay? But seriously, it's very cool. A level of death innovation happening. We might as well do something when we're in the ground, you know. Love you. Think about it when you... I don't know your thoughts. I want all your thoughts. If it's not this, then maybe I'll have my ashes made into jewelry. But seriously, I'm probably going to do this. There's no harm in playing ahead, am I right? Channel from Amy Rose. Okay. From Mariana Rice. Hi Amy, I just wanted to say to you the service for the service the other month, and apologize if I was abrupt. It was kind of a shock for me, and I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. He wasn't supposed to die yet. It hasn't been easy. Mariana. Oh boy. Okay. From Manuel Scott to Amy Rose. Good day, Miss Rose. Disregard our son's will as it concerns the matter of his burial. He was clearly not thinking right and didn't know what he really wanted because it was an open casket funeral. As for payment, we'll bring a check. Ooh, we get to choose. Charlie, I was hoping you wouldn't have to confront the situation. Yet anyway, it's never easy. Rose and Daughters has been asked to prepare the body of a young man who took his own life. That's heavy. Oh. Oh boy. He had a will prepared and asked for cremation, but family has demanded the traditional burial instead. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone in his power of attorney or didn't have any witnesses sign his living will or his advance directive regarding these wishes, so his family is legally in the right to do whatever they want with his body. It's unfortunate, but we have to do as the family wishes. Matthew has graciously offered to take you this on if you're uncomfortable with the subject. So we have a second body you can prepare for funeral rehearsal later in the afternoon. Charlie, is this suicide something you're comfortable dealing with? Let me know. I'm here if you need me. I am not. I'm sorry. Oof, oh god, it's so unpleasant. Such a shithead move of the family. Fuck them, honestly. God. Mortis. Yep. Boop, 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 boop. Lotion. Whoop. Hello. Come on. Excuse me. Up. Tubing. This. Tubing. What a bunch of awful people to just disrespect the wishes of the deceased like that. It sucks. Like, they're dead. The least you can do is, you know, you cannot say no to you. You cannot argue with them about this. Just, that's the one thing they're asking of you. Don't be an asshole. Don't be an ass. done. Thank you. Miss Rosie. The list said, don't say that. She knows who's suffering or in pain. Yeah, she's in a better place now. She was too good for this world. Okay, thanks, Aunt Sandy. Aunt Sandy, come on. Where's Maria? She couldn't be here. She didn't want to see her mother's body. I mean, the item in her. Anyway, I'm pretty impressed with the food. Did you try the amaretti? Hello, sir. I haven't cried since she died. Not once. How is Anna crying and not me? I'm the one who lost a parent. It doesn't look like her at all. That is understandable. Like, it doesn't look like her at all. Yeah, like, if you see somebody who has died, it's like, it's not them anymore. They don't have this. It's this sort of uncanny valley feeling of that's their body. It no longer is them. Just weird. March 3rd, 10:45 a.m. Speedrun. Okay. From Funeral Monthly. Different funeral traditions. Funeral rites. Oh, it was like heritage. There we go. Funeral rites, even our own culture, maybe be some way, something. Oh, maybe be something many of us may be unfamiliar with. Did you really have to write it that way? Come on. For many people, all they know is funeral traditions are what they've seen in the media. But, and I think this goes without saying, funeral rites and traditions aren't the same across the board. Different cultures have different protocols for cleaning the body to different aspects of the service itself. Religion provides different paths for dealing with death, but the goal is always the same: offering support, guidance, and ease to the people who are grieving. In Judaism, interment usually begins immediately after somebody has passed. Up until burial, the body is never supposed to be alone, so other families will appoint a shamer. I think. One sec. Shamer? One second. Shamer pronunciation. Thank you. I cannot find anything really. Okay. Shamer. Oops. No, that's wrong window. A guardian to remain with the body. Preparation for burial begins as soon as possible in Muslim tradition as well. Local Islamic communities and organizations are also often involved and help the family make arrangements for the funeral service and burial. But not all practices are strictly religiously focused. Strictly religiously focused. One sec. In the aughts, in South Korea, the amount of graveyard space began to shrink drastically, causing a law to be passed that required families to remove a loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. That sucks. Many families begin to cremate more often, but there are also companies that compress remains into beads in turquoise, pink, or black called death beads. This also occurs in North America, Europe, and Japan, but remains much more common in South Korea because of the space issue in graveyards and the expenses of cremation. And not all practices are somber either. Ever heard of Journey of the Bones or Pamadihana? A ritual by the Malagasy people of Madagascar. Pamadihana has families return to an ancient crypt, to an ancestral crypt, exhume the bodies wrapped in cloth before dancing with the bodies to lively music. This practice is a celebration, remembrance, and way of keeping the deceased involved in family news. Death can be a difficult time for many people, obviously. But that doesn't mean there isn't beauty in the way we choose to honor and celebrate our deceased. You're invited to attend the Death Cafe. Come, increase awareness of death with a view to helping people their finite lives. Join us. Have a tea and cake and talk with others about our thoughts, fears, and ruminations on death. The founder of the Death Cafe movement, John Underwood, once said, "When people talk about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity. See everyone in the Upside Down Jar next Thursday." Death Cafe. I can't really write much right now. I have a lot of work I have to do with inguinal, one inguinal hernia from 1750. It's the oldest of our collection, and you can't even see this bit of paper the surgeon put in after removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you the link when we have a catalog. What is my life? What sentence? What is that sentence I just typed? But anyway, this event that I'm forwarding you is taking place near you. Could you be into it? Might have with that feeling of restlessness you were talking about before. Could be good to talk about some of the things you're feeling. Lots of that positive people there, so like it'll be a safe place, a safe space. Oh, new boss, I assume, from Jeffrey. From Matthew. Can I just say first off that this is bullcrap? Knowing how these corporations run, I wouldn't be surprised if they're monitoring our emails now. No, okay, I don't believe that. I'm just upset. I get that Amy didn't have much of a choice. You can only fight a huge corporation taking all your business for so long. This isn't 6 feet under. And they just swooped in, and now we have to deal with their BS practices. The Colden and the corpse that picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? It was dirty and exploitative. Let's grab a drink after work. I need to blow off some steam, and emails aren't really the most appropriate place to do this. Too late for me, I guess. From Chad Grant, welcome to. We are pleased to bring on Rose and Daughters as part of Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated. They will be another institution amongst hundreds of other properties owned across the country. But of course, as part of the adjustment process to the Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated culture, there will be a number of changes that will come to Rose and Daughters. We will send out the memo regarding the specific details of these changes, and we expect them to be followed impeccably. But glad to be leading the way for Rose and Daughters from now on. Chad Grant, CEO and Managing Funeral Director, Suicide Heritage Enterprises Incorporated, Rose and Daughters Division. From Leah Ionesco. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. The bike accident was well. It was more than I was expecting. I know she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. Thank you, Leah. Charlotte, below are the details. No, you know what? He's the kind of guy that said details. Below are the details of for a new client. Ensure you follow the requested specifications exactly. After you're done, I will review your work in order to properly evaluate you at the end of the month. Fuck you. Okay, there we go. Oh. You read what it said. It's fine. She was always so careful. Wore her helmet, signaled, used the bike lanes. Asshole drivers, they need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't wanted to ask Leah. This has been hard enough for them without asking about the legal ramifications of all this. Yeah, after all this, let's see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't deal with the death of their partner all by themselves. Hello, miss. I'm glad I'm here, but wow, I just need a glass of wine and to binge watch something right now. I have to go through all her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No. Thanks, I mean, but no, I don't know. It's so intimate, feels like it should do it myself. She would kill me if I saw the things we have. Yeah, she was kind of a closed book, except to you. Yeah, she was special. So glad it was a cremation. I would have lost it, seeing her body. Goodbye, Miss Ionesco. Safe travels. March 24th, 10:30 a.m. Before the second. Aw, dang it. 2 bings. Oh, 1 moment. Oh, funerals. Why do it? The appeal of home funeral is apparent to many. for many, especially if the deceased was somebody very close to you. The idea of keeping them at home until they are ready to be buried or cremated can be comforting. It wasn't that long ago that we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick to pass out their loved ones to a funeral home. Most families aren't given the option and assume this is mandatory. Funeral homes will always prepare the deceased using embalming and other methods to make them appear more alive. But isn't the process counterintuitive to the grieving process? Being around the deceased allows the bereaved to spend a longer period of time with the loved one's body, which can help them mourn or give the opportunities to family members and friends to see the deceased one last time, before they are taken to be buried or cremated. The idea of keeping the deceased body at home might sound gross, but it's important to understand that decomposition takes a long time, and you can further slow this process by keeping your home cool and dry. To be around your loved ones and to see them decay naturally is an important part of the grieving process. I would be so uncomfortable with a dead body around. I am not amazing with mortality, especially my own. Home funerals aren't just more intimate, but they are economical. A traditional funeral, complete with body preparation, service, flowers, cards, and many other hidden costs and fees, can cost upwards of $7,000 to $10,000. When you're able to take care of your loved ones on yourself, to wash and dress them, and to organize the viewing from home, the only cost remaining is the cremation or burial itself. However, it's important to understand the different rules apply given what state you live in. In all states, it is legal to have your loved one's body at home after they die. States like Alabama, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Nebraska, New Jersey, and New York require funeral directors' involvement, from signing a death certificate to overseeing burial or cremation. If this is a route you decide to go for yourself or your loved ones, make sure you follow everything by the book, but just know that this may be an option available to you and your loved ones if so choose. Dr. Zaius? I just saw a video of a gorilla walking on his hind legs, like a human being, Charlie. A human being. We as a species have seen the beginning or end. Hello, Charlotte. I have reviewed your request on behalf of a potential family inquiring if we at Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated can and will perform dream burials. I should inform you of this in the beginning, but we do not perform dream funerals as they are not cost-effective. All the employees and subsidiaries of Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. must comply. We do not wish to lose potential customers, though, so do try your hardest to convince the families requesting dream burials to instead choose a traditional burial package, complete with embalming, caskets, and vaults instead. I trust you will ensure we do not lose any customers, Charlotte. Oh, go to hell, Chad. Chad. Hello. As stated in the brewery's email, here are the new rules and code conduct I expect you to follow from now on while on any premises belonging to Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated. First and foremost, there is a required uniform and strict dress code from now on. Second, most importantly to this, is that no tattoos are to be visible. If you have visible tattoos, ensure they are properly covered and hidden. When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell, i.e., always encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase the higher quality package. We find that encouraging loved ones to think of the comfort and style of the deceased as an experience with no price limit on it. Additionally, food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Instead, encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase our premium sandwich and appetizer food package. Our partner catering concepts provides high-quality food that will be delivered weekly from the factory and can easily be defrosted in the morning of the funeral. I expect all the above changes to be instituted effective immediately to ensure a smooth transition to the high-quality service Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated is known for. Charlie, I need a drink. You're off to work. Also, I really want mozzarella sticks. I can be both hungry and angry. No, I will not say angry. Ever. Charlotte, I'm proud to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprises Inc. received a contract with the city to dispose of any unclaimed bodies. This is an important revenue stream for us, and as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Charlotte. Although Hillside Heritage Enterprises is being paid a decent wage for the city for these services, cremation is preferred here, as it is the more cost-efficient of the two options. The first unclaimed body we will be handling belongs to a middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No special preparation are needed for this cadaver aside from cremation. Alright. Alright, boss man. Jackass. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to prepare his body. We need to have any valuables on him that would be damaged during the cremation, so just worry about putting his identification tag. Using the cremator will bring these bone fragments down to echelon remains. Oh boy, oh this is somewhat harrowing, honestly. Being the only one at a funeral of somebody you didn't even know and still saying goodbye to them is like... It's odd. But you know, people deserve a respectful goodbye. Goodbye, sir. Safe travels. Water. April 9th. Oh, dang it. I missed my birthday. Water everywhere, and not a drop to drink. Water cremation. We all call it a few different things, like flameless cremation, a bit of an oxymoron, but we'll let it slide, or perhaps more commonly, resomation. Its technical name, though, is actually alkaline hydrolysis. Whatever we want to call it, it's here, and it's an environmentally friendly alternative to traditional cremation. But for the sake of this newsletter, let's call it water cremation. We all know that traditional cremation and burials have a huge toll on the environment. The high energy consumption that adds to the greenhouse gas effect being one of the chief amongst them. And water cremation is an alternative method available for the eco-conscious amongst. How does it work? It's basically a water-based chemical process that uses really strong alkaline water heated up to very high, about 350 Fahrenheit. It basically works like a sped-up version of natural decomposition. The excess water gets put through the same water treatment process as any sewage water at a factory, and alkaline hydrolysis uses significantly less energy than traditional cremation processes. Nina, it's been around for a bit, and in some places became legal around the end of the first decade of the aughts. Not a bad alternative for those who don't want their death to have any greater impact on the environment than necessary. I kissed her, dating a special effects makeup artist, and she's like the coolest person I've ever met in my life. She told us Ava's possession and was equally freaked out by the possession scenes, but so utterly delighted at the idea of support groups for people who have been possessed. That was your best recommendation in a while, Charlie. You were slipping there. I was getting worried you had lost your taste. But yeah, her name is Lily, and she's super death positive and freaked out by my work, and I was also isn't too into it like that last dude I saw. Jason? Michael? I can't even remember. I just really like spending time around her. I can talk about whatever I want, and it's never a conversation stopper. She also totally gets what I mean when I say that, like, working with death and spending so much time thinking about death actually makes me happier. It makes everything else feel so much more worth it, you know? Memento Mori, or whatever they taught us in that one poetry class we took. Remember death. We just clicked. Feels good. Fun and affirming like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters, and I think the idea of sharing cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on the rides, is sickeningly cute. Then, maybe I'll kiss her on the top of the Ferris wheel, be super corny and cliche for once in my life. Anywho, enough about me for now. I'm still kind of in shock from your last email. Do you think you're going to do it? You know you have my support 100% no matter what you decide. Charlie, it's official. I've put my 2 weeks notice. You know how unhappy I am working for Mega Version 101. My skills, especially my drawing ones, are useful in other professions. I'm not worried about myself. But you I'm worried about. You're too good for this corporate scum. You actually care about the people you work with and for. Don't let them defeat you, okay? I'll bring beers over next week. We can talk a bit more freely. This contract acquisition. Hospital. Oh, we are thrilled to announce that Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated subsidiary Rose and Daughters just signed a contract with Morning Valley Hospital, allowing us access to all the cadavers that come through the pediatric and maternity wards. Oh joy! We're excited for the opportunity to work with Morning Valley Hospital, which intakes over 100,000 patients and receives over $15 million in funding and donations annually. This will no doubt be a boon for Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated's bright and sustainable future. Oof. Coffee Dinka to Chad Grand. Dear Mr. Grant, regarding the last time we spoke, my daughter and I would still prefer to host a home funeral ourselves and keep my wife here until she's ready to be buried. I just want to make sure she's taken care of. Her heart attack was so sudden we don't know what to do. We just want to make sure she has proper send-off. Dear Mr. Dimka, I understand your desire to keep your wife at home, but I assure you the best way to honor your wife is through a traditional funeral package instead. I promise you your wife's funeral with us will be a beautiful, intimate gathering where all of her beloved friends and family can come together and say their goodbyes. A standard bowling will allow for everyone to view your wife, ensuring that everyone can see her one final time as she was. Beautiful, peaceful, and courageous. Letting us take care of the food with a prepared food service will ensure you don't have a single thing to worry about on this day. You and your daughters are going through a hard time right now. Now this year, at Rose and Daughters, make this difficult time a little easier for you. Okay, we'll take the traditional funeral package. Thank you for considering us in this hard time. Charlotte, I see you were not able to convince the Dimka family to take a standard funeral. I had to contact them myself in order not to lose the sale. Please read the enclosed emails for a lesson on how to properly upsell potential customers. I want to see that we've lost any customers because of your refusal to upsell. That is part of your job. Go to hell. Honestly, you piece of shit. Guest funeral. Okay. Let's think of. Relax Thanks for rigor mortis. Eye caps. Oh. Into the mouth. Jaw closed. Lotion. There we go. Oops. Incision. Tubing. Cannula. Tubing. And let's do this. Also, I think our character is going to quit. I think Charlie is looking to quit this job. Because, holy shit, how can you be so obviously fucking insensitive and evil? I mean, they're a big company and he's a CEO, so of course he's fucking corporate and evil. It's like just... what a horseshit human being. Ba, 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 ba. Oops. All done. Goodbye, Miss Dimka. I'm starving. Why do these things always make me so hungry? You're always hungry. This feels so impersonal. She would have hated this. Yeah, but I don't know. They must have had their reasons. Oh, hey, what did you think of that trailer I sent you? Oh yeah, I've heard that show is so good. I saw that video on the one kid actually doing karaoke. God, my neck. It's so cold in here. I think they have their air conditioning on too high. Yeah, let's go for a walk later. It's really nice out. It would be good to stretch my legs. Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad not doing what Mom asked for. I know, honey, but what that Chad guy said seems right. We don't want to dishonor her memory by letting her rot. Yeah, I just want Mom to know I love her. Wish I hadn't yelled at her before. It's okay. She knew you loved her. Why it's happening. Please don't be hard on yourself. Yeah. I'm going to miss her. Me too. Goodbye, Miss Dimka. Safe travels. Oh god, my back. August 30th, 9 a.m. Ooh! Hello? Well, let's go from the top to bottom. Because that thing is there. Charlie, dear, I'm so proud of you. I knew there was something special in you when I hired you for Rose and Daughters. If there's anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. I'm always happy to help. Best wishes, Amy Rose. I sorely miss you and Matthew's terrible sense of humor. You and Matthew's terrible... Okay, there we go. You'll never believe what new job I'm working now. Almost done with an email to find out. Matthew. The clickbait. Hey Charlie, when I first became a hearse driver, I was told that that was my most important job wasn't steering. It was sympathizing. I respectfully disagree. Eventually, I concentrated on my driving skill since I'm not working at, wait for it, bus driver. A school bus driver, Charlie. Can you believe that? Pretty sure if I said the most important part of my job now wasn't steering, I'd be fired immediately. I didn't know how else to tell you. For some reason, I was worried you'd think less of me, but I don't know why you've never been the judgmental kid. You're kind. And besides, of course, it's way easier to deal with than children. Screaming children, might add. I actually love it. These kids can be pretty cute. But don't tell me that I told you that she was always harping on me for not having any kids and for being all cynical about them. Continuing business? Business is Charlie. I'm proud of you. I'll swing by your new place one day and show you my new wheels. Maybe we can grab a bite to eat. Hey, seeing ya, Nephew Jay. Congratulations on your new business. Charlie, I'm so happy for you. I know it's been a rough year for you. Seriously, think our wine intake saw a bazillion% increase, but you're stuck to it like a champ. You deserve this. You deserve this. Finally being your own boss is a great move for you. No more having to explain anything you don't want to. I'm trying not to be too cheesy right now. Can't wait to be home next week for our visit. Check on your new space. P.S. Have you heard about these green burial pods? When I find the link in my 1 million open tabs, I'll shoot one over to you. Okay. Dear Charlie, today's the day already, isn't it? I can't believe how quickly this has come up. Thank you for your understanding and for your work. You made today easier already. See you at 1 p.m. Best, Eileen Hansen. See you soon. Oh, I didn't look at it. I can look again, right? Magnolia Forest. Funeral Home and Natural Burial Park. Our services. Magnolia Forest, named after the magnolia trees that surround the funeral home, specializes in at-home funerals. Okay, in at-home funerals and green burials in our natural burial park. Our goal is to empower families and encourage them to have a close relationship with death and the dying process. The death of a loved one can be a confusing and sometimes traumatic time, and I want you to be fully involved in your loved one's death care decisions. Whether you're looking to care for your loved one from the comfort of your home, be present during the cremation, or bury them in our natural cemetery, Magnolia Forest is here to work with you and provide these simple but intimate and meaningful options. Our natural burial park allows the body to return to the earth and recycle naturally. It is intended as an environmentally sustainable alternative to existing funeral practices. Our park has room for bodies of all sizes and ages, as well as beloved pets. Families also have the option to bury their loved ones themselves if they so choose. We believe in being transparent about our prices and practices. We are happy to explain all of our prices, work within your budget, and hope to make you feel comfortable and confident in your decisions. Let us know if we can answer any of your questions. Home funeral, $1,000 all inclusive. Green burial and service, $2,250 for all adults. Myths are buried at no charge. Yeah, oh god, it would suck. And provide a 3-foot by 3-foot mud and help over enclosing the grave. Direct cremation, $600 all inclusive. Okay. Let's go out. This hurts. I thought it'd be easier, but it's not. It hurts so much. But thank you for helping me give her the funeral she always wanted. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. Uh-oh. Oh. It froze there for a second. I didn't know what was going on. Okay. This has been The Mortician's Tale. Very sweet. Very, like, sweet and very interesting, I'd say. Yeah. Okay. Maybe in Unity and app mod. Also with support from Ontario Arts Council, Ontario Government Agency. Memory of. Safe travels. And thank you for watching. This has been Mortician's Tale. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed watching this. And yeah. I'll see you about... I'll see you hopefully on Monday. And yeah. Thank you again. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.